So I'm Valentine Nkoyo. For those who do not know me, I work for the Mojatu Foundation. We are a charity based in Nottingham on African Road. So we focus on 4 key strands of work as a charity, which is community media, training and education, health promotion, and community engagement and integration. And female genital mutilation is one of the campaigns we've been running since 2014. And I would like to put it more like a story. I moved to Nottingham in 2014 when I came to do my MBA at Nottingham Trent University. And I was talking to different people and got a message from someone very special, and they said they were really concerned about FGM, and I was also concerned about FGM. And by then I was told that Nottingham was recording up to 200 new cases of FGM in the city, but most of them were historical cases of people who had come from other parts of the country. Countries of origin, and I was really keen to see how I could engage more communities to be involved. And I started writing to different people, and we had a conversation with different community members, and we said, how can we work together on this? And I don't know how many people know what I'm talking about so far. How many people know what female genital mutilation is? Oh my God! Yeah. So I'll not be provoking you more, but I've got some provoking questions that we'll be discussing more about later on. So we started work around getting the community involved, and we were 3 volunteers in our office, and we said, how can we actually get the community on board where we will not be feeling uncomfortable as the community talking about this subject, because it's a very difficult subject. And we said the best thing for us was to actually engage them, to have conversations where people will feel like, actually, I see it as a problem in my own community, and I can talk about it in a positive and dignified way. And we started talking to different community members, and as we speak, we've got more than 80 community members who've been involved in the campaign to tackle female genital mutilation. When we started, it was really difficult, engaging men. It was really difficult engaging survivors, women who've gone through it, because it's a very personal subject, very deep, and many women find it really difficult to talk about, because it's about a woman's private part. And some of the survivors I met were saying, why should I be even talking about my body? Who cares? And what I would like us to leave today thinking is, should we care? If it doesn't affect you, should you care about it? And this is the question most of the women were talking about. And then when we started talking more of how we could engage influential people, it came to a point we were saying, okay, who are the influential people in the community that we can talk to, who can actually make a real difference? And for me, I was like, unless we get people who are passionate about the subject, or people who can make a difference, there is no way we can be able to actually make a difference. And we started talking to faith leaders, community leaders, and the change we've seen over time, just getting people on board, where you even go to an event and you're like, oh my God, how do I even start a conversation? And I remember at some point we designed t-shirts called Great Warriors t-shirts. And someone asked me first, I remember we went, it was at the Heisenberg Cultural Festival, and I was wearing this t-shirt that we first designed, and this male came to me and he said, why are you wearing that t-shirt? You know, what does the clit mean? And I was like, okay, do you want to know more about clitoris? About vaginas? And I said, you know, we can have a conversation. And it was a really difficult conversation to start. But it came to a point, if young men or men don't involve in conversations, you have to actually get out of that comfort zone to start, you know, making those difficult conversations easy to talk about. And I said, yeah, I can tell you about, you know, what the clitoris mean. And then we found a simple way of actually engaging more people in the conversation. And as we speak now, I'm really proud to say that we've got men on board. We have young people who feel comfortable about this subject. And personally, as a campaigner and as an activist who's been involved in national conversations and international conversations, I sit on different boards and groups where we talk about these difficult, harmful traditional practices. I can say sometimes we have to really get out of that comfort zone and talk about these different things. And sometimes you'll find even those who are affected in our own communities feel like they're not comfortable to talk about it. It's a taboo subject. How many people talk about their private parts, or how many people talk about sex education? And we might think maybe it's only FGM, but even in this country, how many people feel comfortable talking about sex to their children? Talking about, you know, their children being lesbians or children being gay or whatever that subject that touches on really sensitive questions. But it comes to a point we have to have those conversations. But one of the things I'm really, really proud of is seeing many young people who have come on board and men who used to say, why are you involved in this? And I remember being attacked personally at one of the live shows we had. I invited the former Minister of Education from Burkina Faso, who's now the Education Rapporteur for the United Nations. And I had the then NHS FGM specialist in Nottingham and other speakers, and I got a phone call from someone saying, you are just a little African girl who's just come to this country and you think you know everything. And for me that really struck a chord. It was the deepest thing that I felt, and I turned it into a positive thing because I was like, I know why I'm saying this. And I knew the sad stories of women I cared about who came to me saying, we need help, but we can't just talk to anybody else. They just needed to talk to someone who would understand. And that really makes sense to me. And to have our work recognized by the United Nations, the Women Federation for World Peace International, and to be invited to Buckingham Palace as a result of the work that many people in this room we've been working with, have been part of. It's not about one person, it's about everybody being aware that even if it doesn't affect you, it might affect someone that is so dear, but it means so much. And when I was asked to speak today, I didn't even know how the conversation would stand, but I was like, it's fine, but for those people I've worked with, they know the passion I have for women's issues. And I'll repeat what I said earlier on. One of the things I would want you to leave is whose responsibility is it to even think about FGM, and what can we collectively do be able to support girls and women. And most people think it's just something that happens over there, but it's a massive issue. Over 135,000 girls and women in the UK are affected by FGM. Over 200 million girls and women globally are affected by FGM. In Nottingham, as we speak, between 2016 and 2017, about 85 new cases were identified in Nottingham. And this is the tip of the iceberg, because these are only women who have been identified through the through the maternity route. And a lot of the women we support have not disclosed their FGM to anyone, and it's a huge thing. And women are crying out unless they get that support. And sometimes I go to meetings where people debate on different things, whose responsibility is it for them to commission. And as someone who really cares so deeply about the subject, it breaks my heart to know that sometimes people say they are unsure how this subject can be handled and how it can be Nottingham. It's a subject I can talk for hours, but it's tough. I do training and it takes over four hours to train to get to the bottom of it. So I know there are people who will be leaving with more questions than answers. And I think that's why it's important to have the Provoke. Okay, so I've got 4 questions here. And the first question is, who should be involved in tackling FGM? Yeah, and then the second one, who should be commissioning FGM services? And then how can we challenge FGM confidently and sensitively without stigmatizing our communities? And what actions should we be taking forward?